You have come to the wrong place, outsider. You cannot have business on Motari Okozi. Leave before I feed your bones to the jungle. This is no library, Outlander. Death herself has touched this jungle. It seems you intend on letting the island do our work for us. I thought my message to the Huana Prince was clear. He needs reminding that to trespass on the jungle ruin is a death sentence. You will find only bones and ruin, blighted with decay, and worse. The deeper jungle is fouled. Nature is wrong here, and your very presence makes her drool with hunger. We do not venture into the deeper jungle, but we know it for what it is. A place where nature has gone mad. It is not for me to explain the tales of our people, but I warn you to keep your distance. Motari Okozi has claimed more lives than you would guess. Imagine a number. It is more, I say. This island soured in an age when tribes were vulnerable and separated from their kin. It grew teeth where none had sprouted before. Imagine the feast laid out for an opportunistic glutton. You did not come here to learn our history, and I do not share our secrets with outsider filth. Explorers from Neketaka landed here. You must know by now they did not return. It is no wonder the prince sent a second group to find the first. He cares more about riches and plunder than the lives of his servants. Akira, the island is closed to outsiders. All who set foot here are doomed to perish. The prince sent explorers into the maw of this island. Their drained corpses and bloodied clothes were all they left behind. If Aruihi intends on repeating his mistakes, I am thinking he will not stand for long against the foreigners. To the depths with him, then. A prince of Neketaka should put the wishes of his people over his ambition. You have done nothing to earn the trust of the Wahaki. I cannot look into the eyes of my chieftain and explain to her why I let you go into the jungle. Better for us both if I killed you now. We will give your body to the sea with all the rights that a worthy foe deserves. An outsider can expect no greater honor. You should thank me for sparing you a death at the hands of the jungle.
Stinking weed!
Nature has turned her hand against this woman. We must not leave her in the state, Captain.
I don't know what you are, stranger, but your kindness goes down smooth. Thank you. Only I don't know how we're going to manage it.
Akira, a simple matter of denying these vines their beloved water. Not my finest work, but it is done.
I think that did it. Agrasima. Our ship landed on the other side of the island, but I am the last of the crew, and I cannot sail her alone. May I join your voyage? I do not care where we make port, as long as it is far from here. Director Castel sent us. We were shadowing a Juana expedition, trying to figure out what they were after. Corpses, all of them. But we couldn't turn our backs on the mission, so we went deeper into the jungle. North of here, there is a golden disc, big, heavy thing. One of my mates took a piece of it. Everything went wrong after that. Something took us while we rested. Oh gods. I woke up and there was a flower growing out of my Casita's mouth. I started pulling weeds out from between his teeth. Then I got hit from behind and woke up here. There is something guiding the creatures here. A woman, I think. She gets under your skin. I only caught a glimpse of her in passing. Huge. And her daughters are none too fond of outsiders. We didn't learn much. It was already missing a piece by the time we got here. The most I saw were a bunch of Juana's scribblings.
Those scribblings were made by my people millennia ago. I suppose you just wanted it for the plunder?
Not necessarily. It would have made a fetching desk at the company headquarters. I wager it was what the other expedition came to find. Not that their luck was any better than ours. Ak, Casita! I will see you on board. If I was mad enough to tarry a moment longer, I would walk with a quiet step. Ak, then you came better prepared than we did. The Pugra who guard this jungle get edgy whenever anyone steps near their trees.
Trespasser! Vile defiler!
Madam, this is a swamp at best. What could we be trespassing on?
We do not speak to the fertilizer. You are nothing but water to feed our young, soil to birth our seed. We can smell our daughter's sap on you, interloper. You cannot know what you have taken from us. Your body will feed the roots of their trees. We will grow our daughters anew. You chose to invade our lands, just as you chose to kill those who we held dearest. It would seem to us that you had choice aplenty.
this is where we part ways. For the moment. Asura will want me to report in alone. Sorry, it's company business. I might not be back for a few days on account of this. I'm supposed to handle this one alone. I won't ask you to come along or get involved. When I said I won't ask, what I mean is you weren't invited. This is a one-woman, one-bird kind of job. Hey, farm boy, try to keep the captain entertained while I'm gone.
Well, take care, Ishi. Expect to see you both back with us.
Go have fun. Chase a god, save an island. Do what you do best, Captain. You as well. Just don't have too much fun without us.
Do not leave me in suspense, I say. Have you found Matario Cozy? I sent good women and men to die in the name of the tribes and a vague hope. May Ngati thank them for their courage and Wodaka for their loyalty. May they return to us as Rangas. What of their findings, Watcher? Did they recover anything? Anything about Ukaizo? An unusual accounting of the Isles, I say. Each one measured in relation to... If I did, my sister would hold a parade in your honor. Ngati is one to throw obstacles in our path, but I say that an outdated chart is better than none at all. Ikera, here, for your expenses. When we know enough, my sister will finance a fleet-wide search. Not for breadcrumbs, but lost Ukaizo. Ikera, they will not let you escape with what they could so easily steal. But will they not find the original chart as unprotected as a Reparu food pile? I expected better judgment from an agent of the crown. Even with the help of the gods, our task was unlikely before these complications, I say. For what do they protect Matario Cozy when its knowledge could help all Huana? One day I will have words with their Ranga to settle our differences. This is much to learn in a day, even for this warrior. I sent the expedition to their fate, and those who followed. Death is on my conscience this day. Ikera, just so. May all who fell on Matario Cozy slip through the eel's jaws. Huana and outsider alike. But on to brighter times, I say. If Ukaizo can be found, then so too will the hopes of our people be made manifest. Too much has happened for you to waste words with the royal brother. From now on, you work with Onikaza as an honored guest of her rooftop garden. Only, be kind to her cats. You say this now, but Onikaza pays better than her royal pinch fist of a brother. May the wind caress your sail.
Didn't you help me track down that crab thief in Etua?
So it is true what they say. You never forget a face. Nangata, a pleasure as always.
Hard to forget the boy who pilfered half my earnings when he thought my back was turned.
That is a vile falsehood. I pilfered a third of your earnings. A finder's fee.
What say, Hunter? Then the gods truly did not want Tuamoru to lead the Kahanga. Pity he learned the hard way. You do good work, Hunter, but the bounties have dried up. That is a spring which time always replenishes in its course, I say.
So we're back. Did you miss us? Well, thanks. It was just me and the bird for a couple of days, and we're sick to death of each other.
Something happened out there, and it's got me all turned around. I didn't exactly deliver a missive. That parchment was meant for me, and I delayed opening it as long as I could. Atsura gave me a name and a location. That was all. When you're a sharpshooter by trade and your boss doesn't offer clarification, you learn to arrive at your own conclusions.
I can already see this is going to go well.
The rub of it is, my target wasn't some ship's captain or an ogre swinging a fence post. He was the Ranga of a Huana tribe. The village was beachside. No sign of foreign occupation. I might have been the first outsider to make land in quite a while. They were just simple folk going about their lives. Couldn't have been more than 50 of them. Their Ranga, though? He had a voice that carried, that echoed in the hearts of his people.
He called for unity with the neighboring tribes, the setting aside of bad blood. His people listened, and listened well. He was my target. You can guess what happened next. I picked a spot and a time of day. Morning, west-facing, plenty of tree cover. The light was in my favor. The winds were low. He left his hut, mussed his kid's hair, and set off for the beach on the other side of the island, checking lobster traps. Ishi followed him overhead, and I followed him with my sights, holding my breath, waiting for the right moment. And then I stopped. I pictured all those captains I'd riddled with holes and wondered, is this how we treat civilians? Is this how wars are won? No, I killed him all right. I shot him in the back of the head. He was a corpse before he hit the ground. It took a while for his kin to find him, but only seconds to figure out that he didn't die of a weak heart. This tribe surprised me. They acted like I kicked over their anthill. They got mad. They got to work. The old Ranga went onto a pyre, and the new one snapped into place. She took up the call for unity while the embers were still warm. Acted like I hadn't just killed her boss for doing the same thing. Of course. I shoot to disrupt soldiers and end conflicts. Not to stifle ideas or crush spirits. That's Valian work. Fair question. Short answer? I don't know. Atsura uses different codes for each of us. I could teach myself to write Angwithan before I cracked another agent's instructions. They mourned, they seethed, they tore at their hair. But they rebuilt. By the time I left, they were talking about peace with the other tribes like it was inevitable. I completed my mission. I leave Atsura to worry about whether or not it was a success. If you don't mind, I need to let this brew in my head for a while and see what bubbles up. Thanks for letting me unload in the meantime. We should talk to Atsura. He'll want to know that I've done as he asked. You have no evidence. I'll deny everything, and the Navy will forget they ever knew me. 3 reasons. Now back off, Captain. I need to clean my gun.
What can I do for you? No friend of mine. Let me guess, he claimed I recruited you and that I'm coming out of retirement. I don't know why no one ever believes me when I tell them that I've put that life behind me. Especially since I tend to kill him after. In any case, I suspect old weasel-faced Eamon didn't survive his encounter with you. Dumb bastard never did know when to back down. Infamous to his enemies, famous to his friends. Folks decided to call me the Red King, and I had nothing to do with that. But I didn't tell them to stop neither. See, the Valian republics drove my Dar out of business, and I repaid them in kind by taking their ships and their treasure. A whole lot of it. Got right tired of ship hunters crawling up my arse every time I went out to sea, though. So I paid off my crew, scuttled this ship here, and went my merry way. In other words, the Red King is dead. And if you ask me any more about it, you will be too.
Yeah? Tell me what's on your mind? Not a one. Thanks to you, I'm sleeping like a babe. No, better even. I never knew nothingness could feel so warm and so nice. More like from my mind. No matter what comes to pass in the days and nights ahead, I won't forget who it was that brought me relief from the dreams. And the crush of the souls I'd acquired. Yeah, it's best we gotta move on.
Puny. Too puny to join my crew. Go away. Be gone. Scram. As I said, I seek bodies for a crew. And no, you cannot join. It is kind of you to announce yourself to me, bounty hunter. It will be just as kind of you to die by my hand.
I welcome your return. Finally, the lady falls. You already have my gratitude. Now take my coin. That's one down. Just 3 left to go. If you're still game. I hope Catherine put on a good show for you before the end. But halfway is half done, my friend. There are 2 more members of the Firebrand's old crew that need your special attention. I'd say it's a shame to have lost such a brilliant mind, but Torkar didn't give you any choice. There's just the 1 crew member left now. Danaea was a wild girl from the day she was born. She came out of the womb yelling loud enough to make your ears bleed. And she never really stopped. She chased a bad end like a winter-starved wolf chases the first fat deer calf of spring. It was only a matter of time before she caught it. But dead is dead. And reminiscing with you won't bring her back.
Much ado to you, Casita. A word of advice. Guard your back in dunnage. You have not yet carved a name for yourself or your crew. Yet you choose to swim in a sea of sharks. Should one take a bite, the Consuelo will not intervene. Elsewise, how might I be of assistance? Yes, our Council of Captains. There are 7 seats on the Consuelo, each occupied by a high-ranking captain within the Principe. Seat holders convene to vote on a variety of issues concerning the Principe's well-being. To claim a seat, a captain must have substantial backing and sufficient power both politically and physically. Ferrante, the last Marcheso, holds the highest ranking seat because the most ships in our entire fleet have pledged loyalty to his flag. As you can guess, the Sea Wolf, Aldis, commands the 2nd most numerous fleet of ships. As such, she is the 2nd chair and I am the 3rd. Perhaps you would like to attend the proceedings when the Consuelo next convenes. You have my ear, Casita. Of what do you wish to discuss today? I met Ferrante decades ago. Many years I sailed as his first mate before building my own humble fleet. When in the Principe, do as the Valians do. Unless, of course, you have no care for tradition or the continued sustainability of our way of life, like some filthy new blood. You may have noticed a divide between old blood and the new. by which I mean those who descended from or otherwise hold Old Valia in grand esteem, and the varied and often uncouth recruits we have since brought into the fold. I assure you the latter was supremely by necessity, though perhaps I am ill-equipped to throw stones. As a casita of some repute, you will be most welcome in the king's coffin, but you should watch yourself throughout the radiant court.
Castol warned me you would come, but he did not indicate how much he'd have briefed you in advance. Need I remind you, the entire point of dealing with the chaff at Crookspur was to make inroads with them, my special associate. However, we shall consider this an opportunity lost and put it behind us. You do still hold immense value as an investment for my success. Come, let us share a fine conversation. I am listening, amico. What weighs on your mind in this moment, Casita? Shh, amico, please. I must ask you to guard your tongue. We do not condone slavery within the Principe. But I can tell you, their legal operations are based on the island of Crookspur. If you're hunting for slavers, I suggest you look there. Come, let us share a fine conversation. Who better to ask than the first chair and highest rank on the Consuelo, Miss Casitas? Ak, what is it you wish to know? We are a magnificent but largely landless people, so we have come to own the sea. To survive, we must seize prosperity where we can. Hence, we're oft labeled as pirates, smugglers, merchants of illicit trade, or mercenaries. It will not always be so, but it is for now. Ak, what is it you wish to know? Indeed, amico. You are correct in this assessment. We are descended from refugees who fled during Old Valia's decline. They sailed the eastern reach to the Deadfire, but they did not settle the islands. Today, even, our shipboard life continues. Ak, what is it you wish to know? What matters is not who they were, Casita, only that we took it from them. But as you are curious, I will tell you this. The architecture of Balefire Beacon suggests dwarven craftsmanship. My own research into the island upon which I established tonnage paints these ruins in a picture of blood and agony. Whatever dwarves sought to make their refuge here were exterminated by a crush of Naga tidal waves and great sea monsters all at once. Fortuitously for us, Ondra shelters her loyal sailors more than wayward mountain dwarves. Ak, what is it you wish to know? Come, let us share a fine conversation. Amico, do you know how I have lived so long in this life of piracy? You may already be aware, but I am a Dokotsi Paladin, the first chair on the Consuelo, and my crews have been known to call me the last Marcheso. Contrary to popular belief, I do not overly favor speaking of myself.
It has been brought to my attention that you ousted the slavers from Crookspur. You've done a noble thing. They had long been a thorn in our side, but one we were hesitant to remove on our own. You've done us a considerable favor. Indeed, indeed. But the problem hardly begins or ends with the slavers. Deadfire is a troubled place, beset by all manner of predation and lawlessness. Adventure stories blame it on the fury of Helia's storms and the hunger of Ondra's beasts. Historians like Maya's own dear brother would spin you a tale of isolation and trade booms.
He also said that sharing knowledge and sharing cannon fire were as different as birds and foxes.
all of that merely obscures the plain yet hard truth. The Huana lack the will to defend their homeland. Allow me to illustrate. 2,000 years ago, our people began the conquest of Rawatai. The land was new to us. Many of its inhabitants were better equipped. But we overcame them. We were unified where they were scattered. And we were not content to huddle in cliff caves and subsist. We were determined to make a better life for ourselves. Were we less deserving of these things simply because we arrived later? Besides, the country we built was stronger, with roads, irrigation, and weather guards. For us, as well as the people, we organized. The Valians and the Principe will tear Deadfire asunder, and the Huana will stand by and let it happen. So, we must do everything we can to defend the archipelago and its people. We shall ensure that the slavers do not return by stationing one of our most elite fleets at Crooksburg. I think we should continue to focus on how we might help each other, don't you? And by continuing to work together, we can achieve both our objectives. A more stable Deadfire, and a meeting with Aothas. In any case, our attentions are now focused on Sayuka for now. I'm sure the Hazanui will summon you when the time is right. Indeed. I hope we return victorious.
It's done in any case. I'll leave you to decide what victory means.
Maya has been assisting with plans to work toward peace in some of the more tumultuous parts of Deadfire.
Oh, peace to some.
Peace to all, one day. I'm certain Harama would agree. He's well, after all, thanks to your decisive action. Twaha reports success and sends her thanks for your swift intervention. You have aided your countrymen with distinction. There is no higher honor to which a trencher may ascribe. But what of your own assignment? For a most noble cause, I assure you. You've always been self-sufficient and resolute in purpose, Maya. It surprises me that you should discuss your orders so freely.
Cargo shifts on long journeys no matter how tightly you tie it down, sir.
At ease. When it comes down to it, I know you will always do what must be done. Rawatai values your service, as do I. And I can think of no better reward for the rough country's finest sharpshooter than a peace such as this. I won't keep you. I know you both have plenty of business to attend to.
I feel like I should set the record straight. Yeah, been thinking about it a lot. I didn't get into this business so I could shoot first in a battle that hadn't even started, you know? I know the Ranganui wants to see results, but I never thought any of us would be complicit in something like assassination. We're shooting at people with dangerous ideas, and assuming the ideas will die with them. It's a little different when the enemy's ship is turning about, their cannons glinting like a spider's eyes. You don't find time for a lot of deep, ethical discussions. Yashiza's a good listener, but he's too dumb to offer much perspective. I could use some of yours right about now. You're saying maybe this isn't a memory we want to take home?
You could be right. If we let this sort of thing spin out of control, it won't do us any good in the long run. If we go Atsura's way, we had better be sure that killing the right people makes a difference. Damn sure. And if we fall back on what we know, cannons, sieges, occupation, we'd better commit to fighting a moving target. We won't succeed if we don't understand the tribes. And something tells me that we aren't there yet. I'm sure the Navy would love to test their might against a challenge, even if Atsura is worried about the cost.
I've got some answers. Try not to let it get to your head, Ishi. Wonderful. He's so much easier to wrangle when his ego's inflated.